I'm loving it. God gave us life. It is Christmas Eve for those who celebrate that particular holiday. I mean, I think we all sort of celebrate it because we all celebrate that we have time off. Right? We all celebrate Christmas because it's a day off. Uh-oh, I forgot what night was that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I wanted to actually talk about that at the beginning of the show, if you want to call it that. Divine Rising. Grand Rising, Divine Rising was just 123 for the time that we've been on. So that in the corner of my eye. And one more share and then we're good. Good morning, Carol. How are you? How are you? There. I think I missed somebody. Oh well. Oops. The people that are meant to show up will show up, right? Right? That's the vibe that I put out there. I say, whoever's meant to interact with me or who needs what I have or needs what I'm bringing. Ooh, you know what I could use though? I could use the 2 people that are here to tap the screen. 3 people now. No, just kidding. Good morning, good morning. Had to keep that out of my tea. Ice at the back of your neck. Get some ice, Carol, and put the ice right up this in this space right here. Okay, the nape of your neck. Hello, hello. How are you? I have my windows open because it's warm in the building, but it's cool outside, so it's in that kind of in between space. So yeah, how's everybody doing on Christmas Eve? How's everybody doing on Christmas Eve? And like I said, that's for those of you that celebrate the holiday, although I do realize that many of us celebrate the holiday anyway because we're celebrating the fact that we got a day off, whether we celebrate Christmas or not. We're like, don't have to go to work today. Yay! Yeah, I don't celebrate Christmas. I give my mom. I was razzing my mom a little bit because my mom was like, "I'll come down and we'll have Christmas dinner together." And then in the last minute, she's like, "I don't feel like driving," So I'm like, "Okay," and that's fine because I don't actually celebrate Christmas. So it's another day for me. I didn't change anything that I do. So on Wednesday, I'll still have my collective meeting, and those who are free to meet, they are going to hang out. We're going to hang out on Christmas. Those who are occupied or whatever, they are free to do what they're doing, right? That's the beauty of the collective. You join as much as you want or as little as you need to. And that's all changing in the new year anyway, because we're changing it to a school and we've got grades. And grade 1 is all about your trauma and shadow work. So it's the journey from shadow to light. And it's going to be just beautiful. Classes start on January 2nd. Merry Christmas. So, did you know though, we have ourselves all wrapped up in it, and this was a communication from Archangel Metatron. We have ourselves wrapped up in the Christmas holiday, and we have it in our minds that it's a religious holiday. But Jesus never asked anyone to worship him. Jesus came down to tell you that you were him, right? Like that's what Jesus' message was. You can do what I can do, and the way to worship God is within. It's not in this church. Jesus was flipping tables in churches. Like Jesus was like he was not in churches. He wasn't, and he has nothing to do with Christmas. It is. It's more. It gets even worse than that when we get into the darkness behind it. But we'll stick away from that. We're gonna bring light here today. So how's everybody doing? Good morning, Salasia. How are you, my love? Today is Tarot Tuesday, so we're gonna do a tarot reading. And hello, I saw you there. Faceless. Hello, hello. Hello. I got a really cute picture of Cass this morning. He got a couple of new stuffies for Christmas, and my mom bought him a stuffy, and I got him a stuffy. So he was sleeping with his head on, or had his head on one, while the other one was right there. He had to keep his toys nearby, which was really fun. So we're going to do a collective reading. We're going to do a collective reading first, and then after that we'll do some cards for whoever wants to receive some cards, and we'll hang out and we'll just talk. Yeah, we'll just talk, but I will plug my phone in so we do not run out of battery. It's a good idea. There. Alrighty. So a couple of the cards that came out are in the shadow, so we'll talk about that. And we also have, I'm just going to keep shuffling some of the cards. We're going to get a whole story going here first. So let's see, what are the tarot saying for the collective today? What is our message, right? What is it that we need to hear coming into Christmas Eve or December 24th if you're not celebrating that particular thing? So far, we're getting these three cards. They're being very, very... So the Chariot in the Shadow Seer position. Okay. The Chariot in the Shadow Seer position can speak of, so first we'll do it this way. The Chariot in the upright position is about victory, speed, success, and about harnessing two opposing energies and bringing them together. And it's also the major arcana that represents Cancer as the sign. When it's in the shadow position, this can mean that there's a slowdown or that you're having difficulties in blending these two things. So there could be an imbalance somewhere, like an imbalance between physical and mental, or spiritual and emotional, right? And there's some imbalance between work and play, between work and rest, between all of those things. So there could be this imbalance, but whatever the imbalance is, it's actually slowing down what is meant to come to you. And the Three of Wands in the upright position, this represents having all the skills and being ready and just waiting for that wave to come in. So it's all like, you know your talents, you know your skill, you believe in yourself, and you know that the wave is coming. It's just a matter of when. So you're just you're prepared and ready for it. When it's in the shadow, it can mean that there's something that you're not prepared for, or there could be that you don't believe in your abilities, or you don't believe that you don't believe in your skills. So this could be a little bit of imposter syndrome could be coming up with this card. So maybe that's the imbalance, and but there's changes that are coming in. There's changes that are coming in. One, we've got the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is the card that represents mastery. This is where we are learning a skill or a talent, and although we learn what somebody else is sharing with us, so if you took quantum regression and integration therapy with me, you'd learn to do that particular modality. But when you do that modality, you're going to add all of the stuff that you have on top of that. So if you're a Reiki master, or if you are somebody who has studied, certain other things, you're going to blend those things together and come up with something new that's different than me. I have a strong foundation in trauma and in other quantum healing and spirituality. So in all of the energy work that I do, and the fact that, I'm highly intuitive, and, I communicate with spirit, and I channel messages, and I do all of these things, that lends my own little essence to it. And you can tell from the little bit that you've been here, I talk very quickly. Some people don't like that. Some people want the information slowed down. So I wouldn't be the person that would align with them. Other people who have like ADHD, they might work really well with me because I'm like, do, 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 and their brains are like, yes, let's get her done. Let's do this. So your whole thing about mastery, there is no imposter syndrome. There's no one to be like. You are to be like you, and that's it. That's all. That's the only thing that you really can do anyway. Even if you mimic every single thing about somebody, you will still not be them, right? So the only thing that you can be is you. So this mastery, this self-mastery, this is going to shift you forward. Hi, Kita. We've got a couple of new things coming in. The Knight of Cups is romance. It's flirtation. It's that, and maybe it's the love of life, that you're starting to fall back in love with yourself, and you're falling in love with your life, and you're starting to, you're welcome. My pleasure. Hang on, I need a sip of tea. It's Tarot Tuesdays, and tea is Tarot and Tea Tuesdays. That's T for Tanya, T for transformation, T for tea. Right? Just could put all kinds of things for the tea. How are you, Kita? How are you doing? All right. So this is about, we've got that new love coming in, or that flirtation. In springtime when you just start to, you're out and you're about and you're like, yeah, and you're just in that little flirty energy. That's what the Knight of Cups can bring. And it can mean that there's new romance coming in, but that's not necessarily the case. We also have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is about, exuberant, passionate energy. So you could be literally falling in love with your life and falling in love with what you're bringing to the table, because what you're bringing is what you're meant to bring, and it's different than mine, and that's perfect. It's absolutely perfect to have that uniqueness, right? People are looking for you particularly. They're not looking for me. And if they are, they're going to find me, and they're not going to find you. That's just the way it is. So we've got the Ace of Cups coming out, and the Ace of Cups is about new romance, new love. This can be love of self, because all things start with you. Even when we're looking at, religion, which religion is an external thing. When we're looking at spirituality is the internal thing. And, some people have, twisted spirituality as well, but you don't need anybody to help you with your spirituality. You just have to go inside. And, at this time of year, we're looking at Christmas time, and, there's this whole concept of it's this religious holiday. But when we look at Jesus wasn't asking us to worship him. He wasn't asking us to worship in a church. He was telling us, you can be me because you are me. You are all like me. We are all this. This is who you are. And just live in the way that I'm living. And that was it. It wasn't about worship me or, in any way, shape, or form. So starting from within and going into, knowing yourself and loving and accepting yourself. Nobody's perfect. Everybody, hi Dawn, and hello Jer Bear. Nobody's perfect. Every single one of us has flaws, and it's just accepting those flaws. Because on one side of the equation, let's say you got selfishness, and that's just something that you're capable of doing. You're capable of being selfish. And you think of that as, this flaw, and you kind of reject it. Oh, I hate that I'm a selfish person, right? Which you should never hate anything about yourself. So you push that away from yourself. But did you know on the opposite side of selfishness is selflessness, right? Where it's you give freely, you love, in that beautiful way, not coming from, taking from you to give to somebody else, but in just a very genuine, open way. So even with somebody who can be very harsh with their words when they're angry and in their shadow aspect, even though they can be extremely harsh with their words, on the other side of that is their ability to be really keen and really great with communication. Like they can be very, very beautiful communicators in a positive way. So it's that kind of you know, what is your shadow is also sometimes one of your greatest strengths when you look at it in the opposite energy. So I think this is reading. It is. I had a foot cut off it. It's down to my waist, like easily. Mind you, it has a little, like if I pulled it, but anyways, down to my waist. I cut a foot off of it, and it made me sad. And my hairdresser was like, I want to cut another 7 inches, and I'm like, nope, nope. You'll have to come back later. You'll have to come back later when I grow back that foot, and then you can have the 7 inches. You ain't getting it all. Alrighty, so what else are we seeing with the collective right now? The Eight of Wands. This is victory and success. So once you've decided that you don't need to be like anybody else, you just need to love and accept yourself and do things that make you happy, and within that you're going to be aligned, and things are going to align to you. You become big magnet for everything, and then victory and success just comes and finds you, right? By the way, there would be 3 8s in this because I'm seeing the 8 on the bottom of the deck, but I'm not pulling the bottom of the deck card yet. If it wants to come out, it'll come out. Alright, let's see what else we got coming in for the collective. You know what? I think this is the other 8. It is! Holy! So we actually got all 4 8s. Sort of. So the 8 of Cups. So we've got the 8 of Pentacles, we've got the 8 of Wands, both of those are in the upright page. Hi, Byron. And the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups is in this direction, though, is the refusal to walk away from something. There's something that we need to let go of. And maybe it's feeling bad for ourselves. Maybe what we need to let go of is, you know, the punishing ourselves for decisions that we made before, or getting on our case because we haven't done it already, or, you know, we're not at a certain point, or, you know, being wrapped up in all kinds of expectations and stuff. Could be something like that. Ooh. 7 of Cups. So there's a hesitation to make a choice because we're worried about making the wrong decision and then later regretting the choice that we made. Some of us are going to be experiencing a tower moment. Things are just going to be removed that we're not willing to remove, and we're just going to have to accept what's happened. Abundance 777. Take these 777. So these tower moment in the shadow position, though, represents narrowly avoiding disaster. This is like divine redirection that's happening. So you might have thought that you needed to have something, or that maybe even something could be fixed, that you could repair something, that, you know, literally right then. We allow this to happen, because if we didn't, happy sunrise. I love saying it that way. Grand rising, great rising, divine rising, happy sunrise. That one's super, like, I love it. Happy rising. Or good sunrise. So the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Swords is that we literally, enough is enough and it's time to walk away. So many of us, because this is liberation, by the way. The devil is also Capricorn in major arcana. So the devil representing Capricorn, and also we had Cancer in the reading. So mom and dad. Ooh, mom and dad energy, that's heavy. Heavy energy, especially when mom and dad are both in like the shadow aspect. We've also got Sagittarius in the reading. So all the major arcana that represent our zodiac signs are in the inverted position. So this is liberation from addiction. This is this is the addiction. This is in the other direction. Temperance is Sagittarius, and this is about moderation. This is about, you know, balance and stuff. So again, we're just being reminded that there's something out of balance, and this can even represent like oil and water extremes. So this can be, you know, say that relationship that you're being liberated from, if that's the case, right, where you're saying enough is enough. It could even be, you know, the current structures that we're living in and where we're headed to with the new earth, right? And we're all creating that every day by what we're doing, the choices that we're making, what we choose to purchase, what we choose not to purchase, what we choose to agree with, what we choose to disagree with. We are all creating that collective future together. So what do you want to see for the collective future? Well, we're getting new beginnings where finances are concerned, which is beautiful. We've also got that with the Queen of Pentacles. This is the healer. This is a self-made parent. She's very grounded. She is abundant. She's self-assured. Like she looks very confident. Very confident. She's abundant. It's just a beautiful card. We finally made the decision. The decision doesn't require your eyesight. It doesn't require you to see where you're going. It requires you to know in your mind where you're headed, to know in your body, to feel that intuitive, that knowing, and heading in that direction. We need to be conscious of the rest that we need and not go, 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 go. We're human beings, not doings. You don't have to be any, you don't have to do anything to be of value. You're of value always, every moment. You never lost value. Just because somebody doesn't see your value doesn't mean you don't have it. And I talk about this before. A homeless person finding $20 on the street, that's a lot of money. That is valuable. That is so valuable. But you go to Elon Musk, 20 bucks, that's like whatever. That's just like, it's not the same. But the $20 didn't change its value. It's still worth the same amount. It's just the people's ability to see the value has changed. So your worth is always there. You are always deserving and worthy of love, and you are always deserving and worthy of safety and all of these other things. People's inability to recognize that doesn't change that for you, right? We allow it to, but it doesn't change your worth. So there is an action, there is a call here for us to do some rest. The other thing that we have coming out is the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is about really a couple of things. This is about honest work. Like you've worked on it. You've planted the seeds. You've been, doing your manifesting, or you've been putting in the work day after day. The plant is growing. It's looking beautiful, and you're just waiting for the fruit to harvest. So it's maybe just not here yet, but it is coming. It is definitely coming. So this is the collective energy that we have right at this time. And, I think that, is this there's, what is the last day of the month? Anyway, next Tuesday we'll have the last Tarot Tuesday before the new year. So we'll talk about next year at that time. This is, kind of where we're headed right now. I feel there's a lot of energy coming for 2025, and the energy feels very positive. It feels very uplifting. It feels very abundant. It feels exciting. And I know that there's a lot of people that are out there that are like, it does not feel like that at all. It feels sad. It feels challenging. It feels whatever, right? They'll have this concept of, it feels like chaos. It feels like destruction. And that's just goes to show you this when they talk about the division of the earth. I'm going to show you that because I've got it on the screen. So the Lover's card represents Gemini energy, right? And so you're either in one camp or the other. You're looking at the future and you're looking at what's going on in the world, and you're looking at it from that very doom gloom kind of perspective. Or you're the person that's looking at it with hope, looking at it like there's something beautiful. Lovers, meaning that dichotomy, that masculine feminine, that polarization, right? Harmony and balance. Not just in this state, in the upright, it is about harmony and balance, although it could represent imbalance there. Change is needed. It absolutely is needed. We can't continue to live the way that we are. We have to start in 1044, which would be 144, which would be 9, but 144, when you think about the 144,000 souls, the chosen ones, and whether you think about that as, a concept in your reality or not, I'm just pointing that out for those that do. So 144. But change is needed. making bubbles and bubbles on making bubbles. But change is definitely needed. We can't continue to keep living like this. The earth, she is a living being, and you know, and whether it's a plant or whether it's the dog, whether it's the cat, whatever it is, like, it's all energy. We're all, and we're all important, and there's better ways to live. And when you have the opportunity to heal things but you don't, and when you have the opportunity for clean air but it's not available, or clean water and it's not provided, or housing and like the basic needs of life, like those things, like, it's just our whole world is built on greed. It's just built on greed, and it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. That needs to change. It needs to change. We need to have a healthcare system that literally cares about your health and about you getting healthy and healing and curing things. Right? Like, every single time anyone comes out with something about schmancer and saying that you can cure it, boom, they're getting shut down, or they're getting charged, or they're getting, like, you're getting cut, right? Like, it's crazy, right? So there's corruption in the system when people won't allow a cure to be available. Right? So we've got to make changes. We can't continue to be like that, where the whole system poisons you so that they can make money off you being sick. Right? Like, or they're doing these horrible things to the planet or to people on the planet so that they can rape the minerals and stuff from it. Ooh, we got the Hierophant as well. So we've also got Taurus coming into the reading. The Hierophant and the Upright. This is about a spiritual awakening. This is about enlightenment. Right? This is one of the most spiritual cards in the deck. Yep, exactly. It's ending. It's ending. It's coming to an end. And we're the ones that are making that change, one by one by one. As one more joins and another joins and another joins, it becomes the Great Awakening. And that's what we came to be a part of, was this Great Awakening. Right? And it's not about you having to wake anybody up. You just start living your life in the direction of the future that you want to see, bringing into your mind and into your heart the energies that you want to see coming forward, and watch it unfold. Watch yourself navigate to that timeline. Whether you think about quantum jumping or anything like that, right? That's a possibility too. Maybe you quantum jump to the timeline where the earth isn't treated like trash, right? Okay, so we're headed on this spiritual awakening. I love that. Alrighty, so we do have a list that's going 4 cards, and I was just going to ask that very question, Denise. I was going to ask, we can do a poll, okay? It's Christmas Eve, guys, for those, like I said, that are celebrating, or it's the 24th of December for those of us that don't, so it's just another Tarot Tuesday for me. What do you want? Do you want me to give big readings for a small number of people, or do you want shorter readings and everybody gets them? You guys get to choose. I'm going to have some tea while it's hot. Oh. I spilled my tea, apparently. The cup is damp on the bottom. So what would you guys like? Would you like, say, a couple of cards, or for everybody, or do you want, you know what? Show me the list, Denise. Show me the list. I'm going to let my spirits guide me in how many cards you get. Exactly what I chose. You heard well. You heard well. Right? Okay. All right. I've got lots of cards here, so I might not stick just with tarot, but let's start with tarot anyway. So, who's first is the question I have. Tomorrow morning, you can join me at 10 a.m. with Truth Wave. We're going to be meditating together tomorrow, and meditation starts at 10 a.m. Okay, Dad, aka Bob, are you still there? So we're getting the list put up, and if Dad, aka Bob, is there, he will be first, or they will be first, and then Dawn. Yeah, so Tomorrow, if you want to meditate with both me and Truth Wave, join us at 10 on YouTube, X, and Facebook, I think. All right, I'm not seeing Dad say anything, so I'm going to pull cards for Dawn. Okay, so let's see what do we have for Dawn. Having uninvited guests in thought. Well, that depends on you. That depends on you. How do you want it to go? All right, Dawn. What does Dawn need to hear today, Spirit? Can I get a good reading for Dawn? Okay, right out the gate, there's something that you're walking away from. There's something that you're done with. You're just done with it. And when we see this card, sometimes we want to think about walking away from people, but it's not always relationship based. You could be walking away from a job that doesn't serve you anymore. You could be walking away from a house that doesn't resonate. It's just whatever isn't resonating with you anymore. Although it's typically represented by an individual lying down with 10 swords in their back, indicating enough being stabbed in the back. Swords is mental, so within this, there's walking away from something that has been mentally too much, just too much, right? We've got the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is representing a very stable time. Hi, Miss M. Is representing a stable time, but it can also be a bit of a warning not to cling too tightly to your finances, because money is currency, and currency is meant to flow. And if you're holding on to the currency, you're creating that stagnation in your flow. So be careful that you're not clinging to things too tightly. The Ace of Wands came out. She's very passionate, very exuberant. Like she's living her life full out. She is happy. She is like inspired action. Just so much passion and creativity in that. The Page of Pentacles is also coming out for you. The Page of Pentacles is a really grounded energy. It can be talking about earth medicine, connecting to Mother Earth, to connect to your roots and to your history. But pages are about new beginnings, but they're at the royal level, which means that they're new beginnings and something that's going to be long term. It's going to have more of an impact overall in your life. This can be new relationships, new jobs, new level of abundance, new level of awakening. So it's as if you've decided to walk away from something, and you're stable, you're absolutely stable, and now you're following your passion. You're starting to align with your true self and follow what is meant for you, and you're starting to see those new things show up. There's new ideas coming in by the Ace of Wands. And when we're looking at the world, whether it is upright or in the inverted position, is a positive card. When it's in the shadow, it's just a little bit less of an impact. It could be that maybe there's something, maybe you're meant to move and you've been kind of hesitating on doing that, but that living in a different environment, like in a different spot somewhere in the world, would be better for you. It can be that rather than ending a cycle, there's still some loose ends that need to be tied up, is the other message that my guides are saying. But you've got this beautiful new energy. Good morning, Jessica. You've got this new beginning that's coming, new inspired, like great inspiration, beautiful ideas that are going to have the potential to be ultra successful. And just that, like I said, the walking away from something. Yeah. So when we look at the Eight of Swords, so there's something or Nine of Swords, sorry, there's something that was keeping you up at night and maybe worrying about. The worrying's not helping you. The worrying is actually going to be what takes you on the wrong direction. So the Page of Wands is coming out, and the Swords, sorry, the Page of Swords is coming out, and the Page of Swords is this beautiful Gemini energy. So that Gemini energy is asking you to be curious and remain open, to communicate, and I feel like there's something that you're going to learn, which is going to allow you to shift the energy of the Nine of Swords, and move beyond that, right? There's something like some communication, maybe even the communication that I'm giving you now, maybe having that reading and knowing that things are going to turn out okay. It'll help you to stop worrying about things, and that will move you into more of a curious, there's something new to learn, and I'm on my way to learn that, and then there's inspiration and passion, and and it just turns, like I said, all those inspired ideas that have the potential to be ultra successful. And that's your message, Dawn. Alrighty. I think you said Orca was next. And yeah, you can be on the list, Jessica, for sure. And hi, Doris. How are you? You're welcome. Orca. All right, what does Orca need to hear, Spirit? Can I get a good message for Orca? And please tap the screen, and be generous if you feel inclined to be generous in whatever way that means to you, okay? So there's going to be something to celebrate, but we're going to go on a little bit of a journey to get there, okay? So it seems like in the past you've been through heartbreak, and maybe even within that heartbreak, you've been dealing with some scarcity or lack. And when I look at the Five of Pentacles, I'm always thinking to myself that how it's the story of how we participate in our own struggles, because she's behind this locked door and she's got her head down and she's in that woe is me energy. But the key's right there. She just has to go and unlock the door and free herself from it. So there could have been some heartache or a heartbreak or a relationship that ended that maybe you're having a hard time moving beyond, but it's you that makes the choice of how long you stay stuck in this position or when you stand up and free yourself. There's balance and there's disharmony or imbalance somewhere. The Two of Pentacles can be that there's an imbalance between money and spirituality. So there may be more of a focus on making money in your life, or in achievement, as opposed to taking time out for your spiritual practices. And like that can be kind of one of the imbalances that is there, or there's some disharmony somewhere. So it could be that within your finances or within your self-worth, you go back and forth between believing that you're worthy and then feeling like you're not worthy. Like it could be going between those two spaces. The Seven of Cups in the Shadow Seer position, or in the inverted position, is about making a decision and then regretting your choice. So there could be something that you made a decision of that you regret now, or you're hesitating to make a decision because of no. My hair is not, no. It is all on one side. So the Seven of Cups is about making that decision, but not regretting the decision that you're making, or not making the decision because you feel like you're going to regret it, or you're worried that you're going to regret it. So the Queen of Cups is in the shadow as well, and the Queen of Cups is very intuitive. It's a very feminine energy. It's emotional energy. It's in connection with your emotions. It is in connection with your intuition, paying attention to your dreams, a very nurturing energy. But in the shadow, that means that you're not paying attention to one of those aspects. Maybe you're not paying attention to your intuition, or you've been having dreams and those, but you haven't been paying attention to the messages that are in those dreams, or you're not connecting with your emotions. The King of Swords is in the upright. The King of Swords is very logical energy. So this could be that maybe you're being too much in your logic, not sitting enough in your heart. And that's something for you to consider. Or even the Ace of Pentacles. So again, with the I can't follow instructions. So the Ace of Pentacles in the Shadow Seer position as well is kind of, there could be some blockages financially, right? Some blockages financially. There's going to be a celebration, though. There's a cause for a celebration. There's going to be joy and abundance, and something that's going to be, that you're going to be celebrating, that's coming in. So what does Orca need to do to get there? Okay, so collaboration. This is a teacher-student relationship that needs to happen. When we're looking at when we're looking at it, I wasn't paying attention to the messages. So there's a hesitation to start. And this was in the shadow as well. There's a worry that the fruits of the labor haven't been harvested yet. So the way to do that, there's an education, there's a teacher learning, student teacher relationship that you are going to get in connection with. There. Hi, Leah. How are you? Yeah, I wasn't reading the messages, so I didn't see what was being said. Just the hair one. I saw that one about, and that's why I said no. I'm going to do my hair in the way that I want to do my hair. It's good to see you again as well, Leah. How are you? It has been a while. You got my back. Okay, Leah. Aw, perfect. I'm still selling them. I have a bunch of books now, though. This is one of my favorite ones this year. I think it was this one, and I'm so happy to see you, Leah. I love it when people find their way back. This one here, you mean? This one is the, you got the OG cover? Oh, you mean this one. This one. You got the green cover with the oh, lucky you. Yeah, you got one of the 10 copies of a limited edition of this one. Ooh. Yes, so this one here. Yeah, so I have those, I have the dream catcher. Then I have Jessie Learns to Create Calm Spaces. I have Calm Spaces, Resiliency Building Workbook. I have this book, which is The Adventures of Jack and Nanny B, Monster Edition. And then I have Choo Choo Charlie and His Adventures with Nanny B. No spitting, no biting, no hitting, and no kicking. It's for my 3-year-old grandson. All on Amazon, all of them. Maybe we'll do a special read of this. And I love this book, guys. You guys will love it too. So maybe we'll do a free. So Jessie, Who Learns to Create Calm Spaces, beautiful book for that. It takes them through color coding and emotion, grounding, breathing, a trick to wet their palate, and then firing up their imagination. So it takes them through the 4-element mindfulness technique, plus the color coding and emotion, and it has sheets in the back of the book that are color coded, so they can carry it around with them as a reminder of the color that they associate with like love or joy. This one here is about Jack, and I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it. Maybe not like right this second, but I am gonna read it. It's so cute. It's so cute. Sorry, this is a label. This one I just love. I love the ones I did for my grandsons. And I have a couple more that I'm in the process of writing, but. Okay, Leah. What does Leah need to hear today, Spirit? Or what does Leah need to hear at this time? Can we get a good message for Leah? I'll read the book. Okay, so there's been some deception around you. And this could even be that possibility of, sometimes we lie to ourselves. We tell ourselves something's better than it is, or something's going to change, or we can fix something, or, just give it time and someone, like, it's almost like someone will grow up. We have the Chariot in the shadows, 2 7s right off the bat. Which we'll see how many other 7s we can get in your reading. So there's a slowdown here, and this could be a caution. This could be even telling you that take your time. Take your time and make sure that you really know, because this card is saying anything but that. The Knight of Swords is fast moving, running head into something. It's like gives a little bit of airy vibes. The Eight of Swords as well is coming out, and the Eight of Swords is that card of like really our thoughts are, playing games with us, and it's, we have to realize that that's not the truth, and it's kind of the card of, checking in with yourself and like, what are the facts that I know? What are the facts that I know in this situation, and how am I within the thoughts that I have or the emotions that I'm embodying? How are they trapping me in a position that I don't want to be in? Something is going to be coming to you, though, in a very fast moving way once you move through this particular energy. And it's going to be a liberation. And it's going to be a complete liberation. And maybe that's, there's healing, or there's something that's going to happen that's going to awaken you to that and go, yes, in the beginning, you're going to be catching your thoughts all the time. And then as you keep going, you start to catch them, and you don't have to catch them as much, right? You don't have to catch them as much, and then you keep going and you keep going, and then you get to this point where you rarely have to catch them at all. The Queen of Cups is asking you, this is beautiful energy. This is, so as we go through this liberation from, maybe something that could have been toxic for us, could have been unhealthy, it could be thought processes, but it could be a particular person, right, that we need to eliminate from our life. Doesn't necessarily mean it's your husband or your partner like that. We have to start looking at the people in our life that come in and they feel good, and then the people that come in and they don't feel good. If you're picking up the phone and you're like, oh, don't answer the phone. Like, find a way to have a conversation, like sit with yourself and go, why am I hanging on to this relationship? And make the decision that that's maybe not the relationship that you need to have in your life, because it's just not good for you. She's asking you to pay attention to your intuition, to listen to your emotions, to really be validating yourself. Validating yourself is coming up, right? Validating the emotions that you're experiencing and recognizing that some of them are emotions that we just didn't feel a long time ago, that we need to allow the freedom to flow from our body, but they're not about necessarily the current moment. It's just the current moment was the trigger onto those emotions that made us realize, wait, I need to clear those emotions. She's also asking you to pay attention to your dreams. So very intuitive energy, very intuitive energy. All right, what else for Leah at this time? I love it. All right, what else? All right, not all of these, because there's a big stack, but we've got the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is about making a decision. So there's a choice between the comfort zone and taking a risk. So there might be something that you've been, a choice that you've been kind of hesitating to make, but you know you need to make it. It was interesting because I saw the one card, and it's about that self-love, right? That newness in love. And, maybe before in relationships, you've been with people that have, been manipulative, or, been with relationships that have been unhealthy or even toxic, where maybe there was lies or deception, or maybe you even recognize, there's someone in your midst who you really don't trust a lot. That's going to create that journey of self-love. You also have two fives, because you have the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands. The Five of Swords and the Five of Wands, there's like that competitive. So maybe there was somebody that was really competitive with you, and they did something, and they won something by being manipulative, right? They got something that was meant to go to you. Or you feel like you have to compete to be on this, in this same space as them, but it's not even meant for you. You're meant for things that are so much better. Justice will be coming in. And at the end of the day, what you're headed for is that Ten of Cups energy. And the Ten of Cups is the one big happy family, right? And that all starts with self, falling in love and accepting self. and then moving forward from that point and opening up to allow those other energies to come in. And just saying to yourself very easily, if it feels good, it's for me. If it doesn't feel good, it's not for me. It's not for me. There you go, Leah. Boundaries. Hi, Craig. How are you? Was Seashell next? I think. I think. Carol. Okay, Carol and then Seashells. Okay. Alrighty. What does Carol need to hear, Spirit? Can I get a good message for Carol? Hang on. Okay. The first 4 cards that came out are tough cards. So the Ten of Cups, no, the Ten of Wands, not Cups, Wands. The Ten of Wands is about like really shouldering the responsibilities of other people or carrying burdens that are not yours to carry. Sometimes, you know, we do that when we're not going to do certain things because so and so's still alive and I can't be me until my 11:11, guys, 11:11. Thank you for pointing that out, Anita. So there's that, you know, really holding on to things that we don't need to hold on to. And what we're holding on to in this case is the past, like really holding on to the past. And that's not what we want to do. We need to move beyond that. And even moving beyond being in that stuck space. And you know, when we're in this, it's about that we all participate in our struggles, right? We might have saw the flag in day 1 or in day 10 or at some point, but we stayed for 8 years. And but we just kept collecting flags for a while and sticking around, and but so we participate in our own struggle. This one here is where we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Sometimes in the inverted, it gives a better message. So you're maybe starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel in realizing that the more that we hold on to the things from the past, and the more that we hold on to things that belong to other people, the more overwhelmed and burdened that we become, and how unhealthy it is for us. There's the tower in the shadow as well. The tower is in the shadow about that narrowly avoiding disaster. Hello, love. That narrowly avoiding disaster, which I mean is a beautiful thing, right? Sometimes we think that the things that we don't get is we're not getting it because we don't deserve it, or we're not getting it because of something like that, and it's not. It actually ends up being the best thing, because what's coming for you is even better than that. It was not aligned with you. We've got the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is about a rite of passage. It's about, this is an experience that you had to go through to grow and evolve. It's kind of like when you're waiting for your business to take off, right? And you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and you're like, I'm doing everything. I think I'm doing everything right. Like I'm doing it, like I'm consistent, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. But why isn't it turning out the way that it's supposed to? And then you don't even realize, but years later, you're like, I'm not even doing the same thing that I was when I first started. Not exactly. And you start to realize the reason why you couldn't be successful and like blow up successful before is because if you had have, you'd be doing something completely different than what you are doing now. And you're meant to be doing what you're doing now. So it had to wait at that point. The Nine of Wands, the Nine of Wands in the shadow. So that's that determined energy, and like maybe feeling like it's not happening. So you're starting to kind of lose a little bit of hope. This is going to change though. It's all going to change. It's all going to change. So what is Carol doing in this rite of passage? Right? The Six of Swords can be that there's help coming, and maybe it doesn't look like the help that you think it should look like, right? Sometimes we're expecting it to come from a specific way. And it's kind of like even when we're looking at money coming in, right? If we have a bunch of different ways, so for me, I have classes, I have books, I have groups, I have individual sessions, I'm on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook. So I have a lot of different ways for the resources to come to me. And I ask for them in the sense of resources, and so that they can be open. Because if somebody wants to give me a house for free, I'm not going to turn that away. But if I say I need to have money, while money can buy a house, that's great, and money can buy lots of things, that's great. But I want to just open it up that I can receive the resources directly or indirectly. I could receive, a car for free, or I could receive the money to buy a car, right? So just leaving that open. So the resources, all of the resources that you require. The Justice card came out, which is Libra energy. Libra energy, and that means that there's something that is going to, and this could be something in law, this could be something in the courts, this could be something, anything where you're waiting on a decision of some sort. It's going to be in your favor, like karma. Everything's going to balance out. Everything's going to be harmonious. Everything's tea time. Yeah, my throat was just like, and my tea's getting cold. The Eight of Wands also came out, so there's success and victory that's coming for you. So if you do have anything legally that's going on, know that that's going to turn out for you. You're going to be victorious in that space, or even just knowing that things are going to be balanced and harmonious at the end of the day, and that karma, or that destiny is going to prevail, right? That everything's going to nothing leave. Yeah, no, and it's just that balanced energy and that everything is going to be harmonious and balanced, and that you are going to be victorious. You're going to be successful. Like, it's all coming for you. So if there can be anything to give you that hope, and that's perfect that they came out at the same time. So you're meant to be the emperor. This is your confirmation that you are meant to be successful. You are meant to, be prosperous, all of those things. It may come from being, a bit disciplined in that. This is just, don't allow your mind or the emotions that you're feeling, right? Don't allow those temporary things to take you off course, because it starts making you lose hope and, feel like, woe is me. Start looking at the past and carrying all of that weight with you. You need to be letting that go. Recognize it's done, it's over. Transition to that new space, that balance and harmony, and where you are going to be seeing success and abundance coming to you. Okay. Hi, Warrior Crystals. Follow Warrior Crystals. They are located in Alberta. And they do ship worldwide, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I love to plug people on my site, so if you're, somebody who sells something or does something, as long as I know what you're selling and I trust in it, or I know what you're doing and I believe in it, I will definitely promote you on the thing. All right, seashells is next, so we're going to do a little tap out of those cards, and beautiful. So the Page of Cups and the Queen of Wands came out right away for you, seashells. The Page of Cups is the When Pigs Can Fly card. When pigs fly card, and it's about synchronicity and serendipity. It's, new levels of love. It can be a bit naive because it's the beginning of love, but this is typically one that is long term. Because it's a page, right? So we're looking at the royal section of each of the sections of tarot cards. So in the emotional, we're at the newness of, those new beginnings. So just, it can be a very dreamy energy. It has a bit of a Pisces vibe to it as well. The Queen of Wands is about passion. It's fiery. It's, it's directed in the right way. She is so inspirational, it's creative, it's inspired action. So we've got this beautiful emotion and so fire and water energy coming in right now. And the sun, such beautiful card. The sun is a big giant yes. So if we were to look at this as a relationship, right? If we were to look at this as there's this boy and this girl, and it's a new relationship, and there's passion, and maybe the passion's here, this one's more in the newness stage, but there's a definite giant yes. The Sun card is about being authentic and allowing your inner light to shine. It is also about abundance and joy. It's just beautiful, beautiful energy. So what else is coming up for seashells? And so far, it's looking really good. So the Nine of Wands, this is about determination. So you've been determined for a while about things. There's some newness coming in. Again, the Ace of Cups. Yeah, Leo, nice. So the sun shines for you. The sun shines for you. The Ace of Cups, again, new relationships or new beginnings. This can be a new developed level of love for self, which is allowing you to be this energy here. There's something that you need to do that you like. If you've got an idea for the future, you got a dream or you got a plan, this card's telling you to make those moves in silent, because they don't want you to allow, make your moves in silent, because a lot of times people will see you changing and doing something, and they try to they try to pull you down from it, because they like you in the space that they have you in, because it allows them the opportunity to manipulate or use, or the way that you show up now, oh, can you please, can you please, can you please, and you're like, okay, fine, even though you don't want to. Well, if you start to have boundaries, and you're like, nope, and they're like, please, 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 and you're like, nope, sorry, I'm not interested in doing that, I don't want to do that, doesn't align with me, I don't feel it, I don't want to, nope. And people can get annoyed with that, right? They're like, well, I liked it better when you were yes, even when you didn't want to say yes. So they'll want to keep you in that spot. And sometimes people want to keep you in the spot that you're in, because merely by growing and evolving and changing, you're just shining a big bright light on the fact that they're not willing to do that. So sometimes it's our benefit, it's in our best interest to do those moves in silence. So there's going to be a lot of synchronicities around you at this time. I mean, there's something, you got 2 10s right there. So these 3 cards came out together. The Devil is Capricorn energy. This is just a caution to be careful that sometimes there are addictions and we don't realize they're addictions. Many people will watch hours and hours of TV every night and not think of that as being addiction. Many people don't realize how addicted they are to their devices. They don't accept it, or don't realize how addicted they are to sugar or processed foods or certain reactions, emotional reactions within them. Sometimes we get addicted to the life that we've been living. We're conditioned to look for the same thing. Yeah, so just until you're ready to reveal that to the world, keep it to yourself and just be aware. This could be just talking about, be aware of scrolling or food, or even somebody in your life. This could also be telling you to do some shadow work, to delve into the depths, to do that shadow work, and also look for a spiritual mentor as well, right? And having a spiritual mentor isn't a bad thing. There's a Ten of Swords, which is asking you to walk away from something that isn't serving you. The swords are mental, so it could be just walking away from belief systems, but it could be walking away from people, or just, in this sense here, she's facing the light, and just allow what is behind you to just be behind you. You don't have to give it any energy or do anything spectacular. You just have to let it go, or not give it your attention or your awareness. The other card that came out is the Ten of Pentacles. This is one big happy family. This is spiritual and material abundance. This is just, you're fulfilled in the physical space. So you have all that you need. You feel very confident with yourself. So there's the number 1010 here for you to look at as well. And then when you look at the sun is also another 10. Yeah, we're starting the School of Light on January 2nd, grade 1. is the school is the journey from shadow to light, and it is working through your trauma. We meet we meet every Tuesday and every other Thursday. For these classes, there is a library of information that you have access to, like videos that are available, that you can use. And so if you're interested in that, you can always go to my site and set up a call with me to talk about it, or send me an email to let me know that you'd like to be put on the list for when the doors open. I have to do some things on the back end before we get everything set for January. So that's an option. Grade 2 is the journey to awareness. Grade 3 is the journey to illumination. And then when you graduate all 3 grades, you can become a guardian of light. So it's the School of Light. All right, Jessica is next. What does Jessica need to hear today, Spirit? Can I get a good message for Jessica? Okay, just slightly in the shadow. So there's some transition that you're maybe hesitating, or you need to take it, but you're delaying, or there's help that's around, but you're not realizing that it's actual help, or that it's available to you, or you're not willing to take it because maybe you're concerned that if you take the help, like there's maybe some strings attached, or you may be worried about taking the help because in your upbringing, if you got, like you have issues around asking or receiving it because of how things went when you were a child, right? There's that kind of energy with that card. So let's see what else is coming out for Jessica. So the Five of Swords in the shadow seer position. So there's some manipulation or some mental jousting, like maybe somebody, could be somebody that's insulting, name calling, like that kind of energy. It can be deceptive as well, like some trickery, like some kind of trickster energy with that card. You have the High Priestess coming out, and the High Priestess is reminding you to pay attention to your dreams, to look at the symbols that you're seeing, the signs and the synchronicities, to pay attention to your emotions, to your intuition. We've also got the Ten of Cups in the shadow. The Ten of Cups in the shadow is about some disharmony, or there's some issues on, within family dynamics, or, within your relationships for sure. There's emotionally maybe an imbalance. The Two of Swords is about making a decision and feeling blinded by the choice. I'd like to think of this as, it's like you're sitting on a fence and you're like, I could be in either backyard just fine, but you don't know which one to go because I don't know. You're just hesitating to make the choice. It's like stuck in between, like, should I or shouldn't I? Should I or shouldn't I? The High Priestess is reminding you that though. You know the way to go. And even the Two of Swords, while she is being blinded by her eyes, she knows where to go because she's got her third eye, which is the more important sight to use. So the Hierophant and the Moon, which also these cards, the Hierophant represents Taurus energy. The Moon, I think, should have represented Cancer energy. It makes sense because it's governed by Cancer, but the Cancer is the Chariot. These are in the shadow, so again, there's not paying attention to emotions, right? There's something that's hidden or that you're lying. I feel it's more of something's going to come to light. Something's going to come to light. Even with this card, like when you look at that in the depths or in the shadow, like both of these lights, the light's radiating upwards into the person, right? So this is the spirituality, these are very feminine energy, or very spiritual energy. We've got emotion. We've got the Hierophant, which is one of the most spiritual cards. It's about enlightenment, about that spiritual awakening, getting a mentor. This is about, your emotions. This is about intuition. This is, you know, about secrets kind of being revealed or clarity coming in. With this, you could be deeply rooted within your emotions, and you know, in this one here, like I feel like there's like you get insight, or you feel like intuitively you feel things, but you're just like nope, or you're blocking yourself in some way, or you're not acknowledging your emotions, you're not acknowledging what you're hearing, what you're seeing, what the signs are telling you. And maybe you need to work with the high priestess. Maybe that's what you need, is to have, you know, a mentor who can show you or teach you how to pay attention to your feelings. We've got the Hermit, and we've got the Queen of Pentacles in the shadow. So the Hermit is about isolation. It's Virgo energy and major arcana. It's also about reflection and introspection, and you know, going within to find the light within. But as you go into this space, it's talking about being too internal, right? That you need to reach out to people, you need to connect to people. I think you would be absolutely great to, you know, hang out with us in the School of Light. And you know, I think that depending on, you know, and everybody starts in the shadow, in the journey to shadow and light. Everybody starts in grade 1. How long you're in grade 1 is entirely up to you, right? You could be in grade 1 for a month or two, or as long as you need. But then you go to grade 2, and grade 2 we start focusing on different concepts. Okay, so the Virgo is about, it's time to not to isolate. You need to be connecting with other people. You need to be, and this can also represent like constantly seeking but not healing, not doing the integration or the practical component of the healing journey. And then the Queen of Pentacles, again, this is usually that self-made healer. She's, you know, she's a single parent, but she's grounded. She knows her worth. She's abundant, all of that. But there's blockages in there, and it's the healing that needs to happen. So this is really saying that there's a lot of healing that needs to happen right now. There's help that's being offered. You know what you need to do. You need to pay attention to the signs and the symbols, to your intuition, to your feelings, your emotions. Like, what are they telling you about your situation? And if you need help, then reach out for some help guiding you in that direction. Okay? Did you say that amethyst is next? And spiritual love, my crystal. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. So much love to you, Jessica. I'm happy to see you here today. I'm gonna stretch my leg. I sit cross-legged so much. I'm trying to remember. I gotta open the camera. Yeah, you're next. Okay, perfect. Crystal's next. Hi, Chexie. How are you? Okay. Bang the crap out of them. Whoa. Okay. I'll leave that one kind of sideways like it was. We'll just leave it sideways. What does Crystal need to hear today, Spirit? Can you get a good message for Crystal? They're just trying to make me decide all the directions. They're all coming out sideways for you. Okay. 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 All right. So the Four of Pentacles came out kind of sideways. So I'm just going to talk about in the upright, and I'll give you the message of the inverted as well. So with the Four of Pentacles, this is about stability. Financially, you're stable. It's it's a time when, like when you think about a box, you think about the four, like anything with a four, and it's a very solid foundation. So there's this beautiful foundation financially that you have here. And the energy that with the Four of Pentacles that's there as well is that there's that almost holding on to it. Like it's stable, but it's not abundant. Like there's like it could be better. It could be better. It's I got enough, but I could have more. So the message with this card is to be careful that you're not clinging too tightly to it, that you cut off the flow of abundance because you start to get, too scared that it's not going to flow into you, so you start to hold on to it. And because that'll just create that blockage. So allowing yourself to remain open and flowing is part of that message. So we got both the High Priestess and the Queen of Pentacles that were in sideways positions. So these are the healer, the self-made parent, abundant, she knows her worth, she's, completely connected. So this would be like absolutely like a hugely empowered individual. For you to embody both of these would be amazing, because this is, the most spiritual card. It's the High Priestess. The Hierophant would be the other most spiritual card, with more, say, like a High Priest energy, whereas this is the High Priestess energy. So more connected to your intuition and your emotions and your dreams and paying attention to those. The Queen of Pentacles being that self-made, that abundant, grounded, like she's in her energy, she knows who she is, she's got beautiful self-worth. So being in the sideways, there are some things that you're not listening to when it comes to your intuition or your dreams, and there's some healing that needs to occur, and that could be somewhere within the self-worth, right? Just how where's the ceiling for you, right? Where's the ceiling? And maybe you put a ceiling in and you've got it lower than what you're actually able to the heights that you're able to reach. Or maybe settling was the word that came out. Maybe you're settling for something when you're meant for much, much bigger, better, more beautiful things. Okay? The Knight of Pentacles, this is the card that is the slowest and hardest working of the knights. So this could be that there's like been a lot of effort put in, but you're not seeing the results of those efforts in whatever it is that you're applying yourself to. Okay? The Eight of Pentacles is in the Shadow Seer position as well. And the Eight of Pentacles, it could be trying to be like somebody else, or thinking that you have imposter syndrome, or there's a little bit more for you to learn, or there's a little bit more tweaking for you to do within whatever it is that this is talking about. We're going to talk about that in a moment. So we've got the wheel in the upright, which means that you are going through a cycle and you're on the up of the cycle, right? Which means that it's more of a destiny thing than a karmic thing. So it's on that upswing. Success is going to come for you very quickly, and the reason why that success is going to come from you very quickly is because you're having another spiritual awakening where you're aligning more with yourself. And the Queen of Swords, this beautiful, logical, and when we're looking at queens, the Queen of Swords would represent like the Aries or the air signs, right? Sorry, the air signs, not Aries. The air signs like Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. So it's a very strong Gemini energy. She is very logical, but she's not forgetting to dip into her emotions, but she's looking at things from a very clear and logical way. Does this align with me? What can I achieve? Where can I go? What are the heights? Like she's sitting on top of a tower looking out over everything because she knows there's no heights. There's no ceiling for her, right? And this beautiful unveiling of yourself, this glorious, this is me, this is all of me, this is who I am. No longer thinking that you have to be like anybody. You can just be you, and everything that's meant for you aligns with you in a spectacular way. So that's your message. Two of Cups. I looked at the bottom of the deck. I got to give it. Two of Cups. This is, your soulmate energy. Just remember, soulmates aren't necessarily lifelong relationships. They can be friends, they can be dogs or animals, they can be family, they can be all kinds of people, but they're there to... Yeah, we'll just pause the list. If I get done the 5, then we'll look at it later if I can add any more into the list. All right, we'll just hold off here and we'll see where we get with that at the end. And maybe I'll do shorter readings at some point. like near the end, if I have some time, I'll give some shorter readings. Okay, so yeah, so, and the soulmate is meant to show you, like that soulmate connection is meant to show you the true you, like awaken you more to your true self. So yeah, yeah, love you. Okay, Melanie. Knock some crap out of the cards. Melanie, what does Melanie need to hear today, Spirit? Can I get a good message for Melanie? And just let me know that you're there when I call your name. Just give me a quick little, hey, I'm still here, or yes, or something. Okay. Melanie, what does Melanie need to hear today, Spirit? That way they'll know that you're still here and haven't, fell out the trap door, or, swoop. Swoop. All right, what does Melanie need to hear today, Spirit? Can I get a good message from Melanie? Still waiting to see Melanie's name. Okay, I'm not seeing Melanie come up on and say that she's here. So I'm gonna move to, I think it was Doris. Doris. As soon as I said Doris, the cards popped out. So to me, oh, sorry, I put Doris in front of Kim Opar. I'll do them backwards. But Kim, if you're there, let me know. So then I'll move straight to you afterwards. But okay, so what I've got here with you, Doris, we've got the Lover's card and we've got the King of Wands. The King of Wands is an entrepreneur, it's a leader, and the Lover's card, while it can mean relationship energy, it also means balance. Hi, Kim. Tuesdays and Thursdays, my love. On Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yesterday was a surprise on Wednesday to be, on Monday, yesterday. Whatever side of the day. Anyway, is Doris still here? I think I see her. So the King of Wands can represent that spiritual entrepreneur energy, and the Lovers can represent balance and harmony. It can represent a bunch of things, not just relationships. The King of Wands in relationship aspect, yeah, it shows, I see her picture, but she hasn't said anything, so. Yeah. So the Knight of Cups being in the Shadow Seer position tells me that there's something within the relationship structure that isn't doing well. And we've also got the Tower card. So it's like narrowly avoiding disaster. So you may have been in a relationship with somebody, and they might have been like, an entrepreneur. They might have been like, that kind of like, have really maybe passionate energy. Could have even been a fire sign. If we want to assign it to, we assign it to fire. So it could be Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius energy. But whatever it is, there's this disharmony, and there's a decision that you need to make, a decision between the comfort zone and taking somewhat of a risk. So it might be that you're staying within this relationship dynamic thus far because you're afraid to make that decision. And it's maybe even keeping you up at night, maybe torturing yourself a little bit with it, but it's you and your mind that's keeping it, right? Keeping it going. So what does she need to... So the Queen of Cups, you need to pay attention to your intuition. You need to pay attention to your emotions and validate those. You know exactly what you need to do. The Devil, which is also Capricorn energy in the Shadow Seer position, can represent liberation. Like this is actually like the Tower card being in the shadow, about how that is the best thing. That's the redirection is God's protection card, and it's not as harsh as it would have been if it had been like a direct upright tower moment where things are just like this. In the inverted is more of a narrowly avoiding disaster card. Okay, we've got the Chariot, so that you might feel like you're that it's not successful. This can be like that's just that chaotic or two opposing energies, fighting, disruption. Page of Swords in the shadow can be like I know energy, as opposed to being curious and open to learning more. It's the I know. So if this is the energy of that person, they could have been, you know, quite toxic. Um, yeah, it could have been quite toxic energy, even though maybe it felt very passionate. Like I'm getting like maybe more karmic energy. You need to pay attention to the signs. Page of Cups on the bottom of the deck. You're not paying attention to the signs. You know, is the message my guides are saying. You know exactly what I'm talking about, and you know that you are trying to make a circle fit where a square should go, kind of thing, kind of energy. Okay. Right? It is. It's so weird with the time. Alrighty, so after Doris, is Kim there? Kim Opar? And if not, go AWOL. Are you still there, Anita? Go AWOL, are you there? Perfect. Like, I'm pretty sure Anita didn't leave. Alrighty, gonna knock the snuff out of them. And then we're gonna ask, can I get a good message for Anita Spirit? Can I get a good message? What she needs to hear at this time. And just remember to be generous. If you're led to be generous, please be generous in, you know, in the exchange. But only if you're led to. And okay. So we've got the Four of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and another card. I'll tell you about that later. Oops. Okay. Interesting. Okay. You got 3 4s in your reading so far. Go AWOL. Okay, we'll stop there for a minute. So the 3 4s, we got the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups can be about, this is a card where we're a bit of a brat. It's a bit of a brat energy. It's like nothing's really was going wrong per se, but maybe things were too quiet, or this is where we cause problems for ourselves, right? Where we self-sabotage is the energy of this particular card. We've got the Emperor in shadow. The Emperor in shadow, so your second 4, can be like really being in like kind of like toxic masculine energy. Thinking that you have to go, do, and, you know, like produce, consume. Power over, you know, like that whole, it's just that type of energy. It also, King of Swords was in the shadow as well, and the King of Swords can be that very, kind of toxic masculine energy again. It could be a manipulator. Narcissistic energy is another energy that comes up with these 2 cards when they're in the shadow like that. The Ten of Swords is also in the shadow. The Ten of Swords is about walking away. Enough is enough, but this one here, it's like you're not quite ready to walk away from something. You need rest. And so this is where I feel like there's a lot of like really like going energy there, and you're not listening to the fact that you actually need rest. The Seven of Cups is about making decisions. There's lots of choices, but you don't know what decision to make or what choice to make, and that's keeping you kind of stuck is what I feel with that energy. That's the refusal to let go. Is that oh well, if I walk away from this, what if it's the wrong thing? What if I make the wrong choice? What if this isn't the right way to go? Or what if this isn't the right direction to take? The Hermit, which is Virgo energy, is asking you to, and sorry, the Emperor is Aries energy as well. So the Emperor is Aries energy, the Hermit is Virgo energy, and the Hermit is asking you to heal, to be reflective, to go inside, to connect with yourself, to spend some time in reflection. So there's definitely this healing time that you need, and rest that you need. We've got the Three of Pentacles coming out as well. The Three of Pentacles is about long-term connections. It's about, really meeting your soul family and that tribe. It's also about, a teacher and mentor relationships. So there might be somebody that's coming in that's going to be a teacher for you, that's going to help you maybe move through your traumas. Maybe that's what this is, or that's going to help you along the path. Let's say if it's something within business. The Knight of Pentacles is there, and this is just about slow and steady wins the race. It's about doing, he plows the field, tilling the soil, pulling the weeds, planting the, and then he goes out and works on the fields every day. This is about work, right? Putting the work in to get where you want to go. And the Ten of Pentacles is there, which is about fulfillment. It's about spiritual and material fulfillment. So it is coming for you. There's just maybe, maybe you need to do some introspection, connect with some mentors, put in the work, and you will get there. Okay, once you make that decision to let this stuff go. Okay, and take some rest. That's your message, Anita. Alrighty, smack them again, and Dark Till Dawn. What does Dark Till Dawn need to hear today, Spirit? Can I get a good message for Dark Till Dawn? So the cards that came out, the Wheel is in the shadow position. So we'll talk about that. I think you're just going through something right now. Like there's something that you're going through right now that's maybe making you feel a little like as if, like, I think that the harvest wasn't as big as you wanted it to be, right? Or, the results haven't arrived in the time that you thought they would arrive in. You've got the Strength card, so Leo energy, but that Strength card is in the shadow. So there's something that's making, I don't want to say weakening you, but I mean in the opposition of strength. So the Seven of Pentacles, like I really feel like it's just, you're not seeing as much as you wanted to see come in a specific way. So there's just this little bit of like, almost like it's like a little bit of financial, that's happening. So the Seven of Swords is asking you to, going forward, keep things secret, because sometimes people don't even realize it. Like you'll tell them, I'm doing this, and they'll be like, wow, I can't believe she'd do that. Like, who does she to think that she could be a tarot reader? Like, I hope her business, and they say something mean, like they send bad energy on there. So we just want to keep it secret, nurture the baby, and then when the baby is born, then announce it to the world, right? So that's big energy that's coming in there. There's Justice in the shadow, so Justice is Libra energy, right? So there's just something out of balance or some disharmony, and it might even be in legal matters, but I just see it again, it's tied to that kind of that money area of where it's almost like it's just not fair. Like, I don't understand, it's just not fair. Like, this should have worked by now. The Queen of Cups is asking you to pay attention to your emotions, to validate your emotions, to listen to your dreams, to pay attention to your intuition. Your intuition is going to guide you in the right direction. You've also got the Three of Wands. This means that you have the skills and talents that you need that you need to get there. It's just, sorry, my crown was itching. And you have the skills and talent and everything that you need. You're just waiting for the windfall kind of energy, and it is coming. We've got the King of Wands, we've got the Queen of Pentacles, and we've got the Nine of Cups. So all three of these cards. This is your spiritual entrepreneur. This is, he's a leader. He's taken inspired action all the way to the top. The Queen of Pentacles, she is a self-made healer. She's a self-made parent. She's a healer. She's an entrepreneur. She is very grounded, secure in who she is. She's abundant. She's got everything that she needs. And the Nine of Cups is literally energy manifested, everything fulfillment, where within emotions it's the universe gifting you your desires. So it's all coming for you. It's all coming for you. You just need to make it through this little testing space. They're testing your faith. It's a test of your faith and your patience. Carol. You're welcome. What does Carol need to hear, Spirit? Can I get a good message for Carol? The energy that I'm getting from okay, so the Ace of Cups was in the Shadow Seer. That's not the first card that came out, though. It was other cards that came out. There's some in the Justice card as well, came out in the Shadow, which is that Libra energy. So there's some imbalance there, and it's really in your belief and your self-worth. Like, that's what I'm getting from that, is there's an imbalance in you knowing your worth, you knowing who you are, what you're capable of, right? You've got the two aces, the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles in the Shadow, right? So these are about newness, beginnings, new beginning, and in that self-love and like just total acceptance of self, and then new beginning in the area of physical, like worth and starting something. So there's something that you're hesitating to start, and it's interesting because 11-11, we literally have 1, 1, and 11, so 11-11 in your reading, which makes sense because I see the rest of it. So you've got Temperance. Temperance is about, well, it's the Alchemist. Temperance is the Alchemist who he amalgamizes these and changes and creates stuff. There's a balance here. Temperance is also Sagittarius energy. So this balance and harmony that's coming in there, there's newness that's coming in with the Page of Cups, and this is like synchronistic. This is, where serendipity meets synchronicity, and like pigs can fly kind of energy, your blue moon energy, once in a lifetime. And it's newness in long-term emotional areas of emotional fulfillment. You've got the World, which is about cycles of completion and leveling up. And this can be about traveling the world. This is abundance. You've got all this sacred geometry on here. Our lovely friend, the Merkaba down there. All of that is coming for you. The spiritual leadership, being that entrepreneur. You just have to be willing to start it. There's this give and take that's going to happen, where as you open yourself up to receive, you're going to start to receive more, and that can be done through the process of giving generously. But this can also be represented as like that, almost that balance between feminine and masculine energy, the giving and receiving. And many of us, we're in one state or the other, where we're really great at giving, but we're not really good at receiving, or we're really good at receiving, but we're not so good at giving. So this is that balance that's happening within that energy. So there's a lot coming for you when you step out, when you start to believe in yourself, once you start doing what you're meant to do, once you start creating the content, once you allow yourself to be seen, when you take that next level up, things then just are going to pour in for you. Like even in the side where the cards were all inverted was 11-11, right? Like it's just, seriously? Right? Yeah. has to be balanced. We have to open ourselves up to be in our feminine energy, and that's where many of us we're not good at receiving anything. Okay? It'll be work before you create your legacy, but your legacy will be created. Just make sure that, you know, you put in the work. You just got to put in the work. You just got to do it, Carol. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it, right? Alrighty. Rhoda. Whoa ho ho. Okay, Rhoda, we got the night. Oh, we got lots of stuff coming out here. We got some that are a little bit sideways. Sometimes, like, that's the biggest thing. Like, so there's a thing in trauma, trauma healing that I talk about, and sometimes you just have to do it. Now, you'll have some therapists which will be like, you know, just, oh, so you're terrified of like really busy spaces. You should go to a concert with thousands of people and just put yourself in that position and realize that it's not that bad. I don't talk about that. You got to do that in steps. You can't just jump in the deep end. You got to literally do that in steps. But, you know, there is a part of, like, I talk about it in just as simple as the dishes, right? I don't like doing the dishes, but once I get doing the dishes, I don't hate doing the dishes, but it's getting me to do them. So sometimes you just have to do it. And once you do it, then you realize, hey, that wasn't so bad, or hey, I actually can do it. Or, you know, you start to get that momentum, or, you know, the inspiration starts to flow more because you're in alignment with what you're meant to do. And then it's just on that. Hi. Yeah. Is Rhoda still there? As if not. If not, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read my book. I wish Leah was still here. Leah could hear the book. Okay, I'm not seeing her say anything. All right, guys. We're going to do a read-through of The Adventures of Jack and Nanny B. And this would be a beautiful Christmas present. I have other children's books that would be great children's presents for any kids in your life. The other one is beautiful for younger children. The one that is The Adventures of Choo Choo Charlie and His Adventures with Nanny B. So we're going to start The Adventures of Nanny B, The Adventures of Jack and Nanny B, Monster Edition. Jack was a brown-eyed 6-year-old boy. His Nanny B had blue eyes, but no one really knew how old she was. They loved to go on adventures together. They would scout woolly mammoths, climb mountains, run through mazes, swim down long rivers, and even hunt monsters. Yeah, you heard that right. They hunted monsters. Some monsters had horns and big teeth. Some monsters had bright colored bodies with even brighter colored spots. I did pretty good reading those backwards. Some were really tall and some were really small. Jack had a helmet and a shield to protect himself, and he had his Nanny B. She always kept Jack safe. She had a really big, loud, scary roar. And when Nanny B roared, even the monsters got scared and they would run away. Jack and Nanny B didn't hunt monsters to scare them away. They hunted monsters to help them. See, monsters only became monsters when people pushed them away, called them names, and made them feel unloved and unwanted. Jack and Nanny B were really brave, and they knew if they could love the monster, they would change back to what they were before, little girls and little boys. Jack's special weapon, if you could call it that, was his light, and Nanny B's was the love she could share so easily with others. Together, Jack and Nanny B were light and love, and they were unstoppable. One hunting trip, Jack and Nanny B were tracking two monsters. One was bright orange with two fangs, one big blue eyeball, and a pair of purple and yellow horns. One was lime green with yellow and green spots all over his body. He had a bunch of teeth that were bright white and very sharp. His arms were orange and his feet dark green. He had orange spikes down his back. We gotta show the pictures. Hang on. So these are the diamond art that me and my grandson did. That was the foundation of the story. That's how the story was created, was off of those pictures. Jack saw candy wrappers spread around the woods, which was a big sign monsters were nearby. Jack put his finger over his lips to tell Nanny B to be quiet. It was always best if they could sneak up on the monsters. If they saw or heard you coming, they would either fight or run away. And monsters can run really fast. Nanny B and Jack tiptoed and kept very quiet. They snuck through the bushes, looking left and right, up and down, and all around for the monsters. Jack decided to climb a tree to see if he could see them from higher up. As he got to the top of the tree, he could see the two monsters they were hunting. They had a bunch of candy and were dancing around a fire in circles. Jack waved at his Nanny B and pointed in the direction where the monsters were. Jack climbed down and led the way for Nanny B. He decided to go a bit further past them and circle back. Nanny B went the other way so they could come at the monsters from two directions. Jack gave the signal to Nanny B to let her know it was time to jump out. They surprised the monsters, who stopped dancing and stood very still with their mouths wide open. The candy fell out of their mouths. Jack used his shield to reflect the sun. The monsters thought it was so amazing they couldn't stop staring. Nanny B started telling them how much she loved them and how amazing they were. Jack joined in and started telling them how cool they were and how he wished they were his friends. The more nice things they said to the monsters and the more they made them feel good, the smaller and less monstery they became. Soon they weren't lime or orange. They didn't have fangs or spikes or horns. They no longer had spots or orange arms or green legs. In fact, they soon stopped being monsters at all. They were just a little girl and a little boy. They just needed to be loved and to know that they belonged. Jack had two new friends and another story for his adventures with Nanny B. And then at the back of the book, join us in the next adventures with Jack and Nanny B, coming soon. And then it talks about me and it talks about Jessie, which is the cover for Jessie. This is just the now available thing. So Jessie learns to create calm spaces, and a copy of the blank white pages that are in the back of the book that children can color their own color of whatever color it is that they want it. So all of the books that I have, whether it's for adults, and we do the journals, the Dream Catcher, Winds and Goals journal, or the Daily Affirmation and Gratitude Planner, they're all available, plus the children's books and other stuff on Amazon, and you can purchase them there worldwide. Okay? There you go. Beautiful. I'm getting in real close there. Alrighty, so how's everyone doing? I think that was a pretty good Christmas Eve, a pretty good run with some cards and stuff like that. And for those of you that are part of the collective, you can join me there. I'll shut this down and we'll go over there. I will be back on Christmas Eve, and I think, or like we are doing a thing on Christmas Eve, or I'm probably going to go live on Christmas Day. Sorry, it is Christmas Eve. I'll probably at some point throughout the day, but we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, I'll be back here Thursday, and it will be Transformation Thursday, where we're going to do some energetics and stuff like that. Or for those of you that are in the collective, come and join me there. For everybody that isn't, I wish you a very Merry Christmas. I wish you happy seasons, happy Hanukkah. Whatever you celebrate, I wish you blessings your way. And for those of you that don't celebrate, I wish you just a beautiful day. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the collective there in a moment.